Welcome back to Better Vec Bourbon. Today we've got two versions of an explosive flavor bomb of a cocktail, the Trinidad Sour. Two drinks, same ingredients, but with slightly different measurements. The original Trinidad Sour was made by Giuseppe Gonzalez at Clover Club Bar in 2009 as an adaptation of the Trinidad Especial, which combined pisco, lime juice, Angostura bitters, and orgeat, though I will be taking some liberties with the recipe, which you'll find out about shortly. For ingredients, you'll need Angostura bitters, Trinidad's gift to the cocktail world. With it comes an explosion of spices like cloves, cinnamon, molasses. It's bright, sharp, but also sweet. Next we have rye. The original recipe calls for bottled and bond, so chances are they want Rittenhouse rye. A high corn rye, which makes it relatively sweet compared to something like Lot 40. Orgeat or almond syrup. Homemade is ideal, but for how much Angostura we'll be using, don't sweat it. Not included in the original recipe, Toasted Almond Bitters, which I'll be using 2 dashes of to help balance the canniness of the store-bought syrup. And lastly, lemon juice. Gather all of your ingredients and let's get to it. Starting off, grab your bar mat, shaker tins, get them nice and cozy, jigger, and if you're using store-bought orgeat, I'd recommend adding 2 dashes of toasted almond bitters to bolster the almond flavor of your fake orgeat. Then measure an ounce of orgeat and add it to each of your tins. A half ounce of bottled and bond rye, preferably one that's high corn, and repeat for both tins. Next, it's going to get a bit messy. Open your Angostura and remove the cap, and then remove the inner cap. Keep a damp cloth handy, as you'll likely get a bit on your hand or the surrounding area. Also keep well away from porous white countertops, if you know you know. This next part is where the recipes diverge. For the left, inspired by Anders Ericsson's recipe, you'll measure an ounce of Angostura bitters and add it to your tin, whereas the original recipe calls for 1.5 ounces of Angostura bitters. Otherwise, the recipes are exactly the same, so we'll see how that reduction affects the final blends. 1.5 ounces of Angostura for Gonzalez recipe, and lastly 3/4 of an ounce of lemon juice for each. If you haven't already, get your coupes nice and cold, add some ice, spin around, put it in the fridge, whatever works. Add a scoop of ice to each of your tins. Seal them and shake them well for 12 to 15 seconds. Bring back your chilled coupes and strain each of your cocktails, starting with the adjusted recipe. You can fine mesh strain it, but for a cocktail this potent, I don't think the ice chips will hurt. Beautiful rusted red. The adjusted recipe just fits the 5-ounce glass, so I imagine Gonzalez recipe will be a tight squeeze. Ooh, that's going to be a bit spilly. And for garnish, Gonzalez doesn't have one. Anders clipped some mint leaves on, but I'm going to go in a different direction and grate some nutmeg on top of both, as I think that will pair nicely with the baking spice of the Angostura and the rye. I took some liberties, but the core of these drinks are still the same: Angostura bitters, rye, orgeat, and lemon juice. Careful not to send your nutmeg flying, especially not into your Trinidad Sour, which would definitely stain your floor or carpet. And there you have the Trinidad Sour 2 ways. And now for a taste, starting with the original by Gonzalez. An explosion of spices, you get the bitters, cloves, nuttiness. There's bitterness, but it's softened by the orgeat and the brightness of the lemon. I'll have to come back to that one as it's quite potent. Now for the adjusted recipe. It's balanced with the richness of orgeat on the front of the palate, a brightness from the lemon juice, with cloves and baking spice on the finish. Still quite potent, but it allows the other ingredients to breathe and express themselves more. Whereas the original Gonzalez recipe leaves a bitterness at the end, which is unexpected in a cocktail with a full ounce of syrup. It's still good overall, but it left me wanting to use the adjusted recipe as a chaser. Either way, this cocktail will not be for everyone, but if you're into bold cocktails filled with baking spice, this is the one. Now that my palate has adjusted a bit more, let's take another sip of the original. It's still really good. A lot of the flavors are still the same, but an ounce and a half of Angostura doesn't leave much room for the rest of the ingredients in the palate, and as such, I'd choose the adjusted recipe, but with some fresh nutmeg. Thanks everyone for watching. Would you try this cocktail? Let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more like it, hit that like button, press subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.